Leadtionary 2023. Live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei. Every Thursday at 1900 GMT.
Hello there, and you're welcome to another episode of Leadtionary. My name is Michael Obodu, your guest host. And we are continuing with our conversation with Bishop Titi-Ofei from last week. If you missed out, we focused heavily on vision. Bishop, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for welcoming me to my show.
You're welcome again. Now, Bishop, for the sake of those who missed out, even though we will direct them to go watch the clip from last week, please give us a summary what everyone knows about vision.
So, discussing what leadership is. And I said that leadership is characterized by 5 main things, that a leader should be able to define, develop a vision, which basically is the roadmap to the journey. Anybody following a leader wants to see where they are going, and the leader should be able to create a roadmap for that person. For those group of people. I also said that leaders should be able to define a mission. You have a roadmap, we are going somewhere, but why are we going there? And then I also said leaders should be able to determine deadlines, because nobody wants to get into an never-ending journey. We keep going, and we never end the journey. So there must be deadlines as to when we'll get there, when we will get here, when we will get there. I also said a leader should be able to defend values of the team, of the organization, because success is behaviorally driven. And then I concluded by saying that a leader should be able to devise strategies, because success is more of a strategy than effort. That's why you can have a team. I remember, I'm a Chelsea fan, and both years that we won the Champions League, we didn't have a very strong team, but we had very good strategies. So I remember in one of the matches, the semi-final match with Barcelona played about 72% of the game. Chelsea just played the rest of the game, about 20-something percent or 18% or whatever percent of the game. And yet Chelsea won because Chelsea had a better strategy than Barcelona for that particular team. So success is not effort. Success is strategy. And so basically, these are things that leaders understand. When you see people who are doing these things, are doing them very well, people just rally behind them and follow where they are going. And then I think last week we focused on vision. And I spoke about the 5 stages of vision. I call it the 5 stages plus 1 of vision. And that is envisioning. The leader should be able to see the future and go the future. Envisioning. With the power of imagination, you should be able to see the future. And then I also mentioned that from envisioning, you have to go to provisioning. The leader must have the capacity to mobilize resources to finance the vision. When God gave Moses the responsibility of building the tabernacle, he showed him the people to go to mobilize resources. Every vision needs financing, needs resources, and the leader must be able to have that capacity to mobilize resources. And then I discussed the third stage of vision, which is division. Once the vision begins to grow, you now will need to bring on people, but just not people, but the right balance of skills, which is very crucial for the success. Once you bring people with different balance of different skills, and they will come with their own character and charm and style and everything, that moves you to the next stage of vision, which is supervision. The ability to control, to direct, to motivate, and to make sure that the right people, and to organize, make sure that the right people are at the right places and everyone has a space to be able to operate. is crucial for leadership. It's very crucial for leadership. So, yeah, division is where you bring in the team, division. And then from division, you now go to supervision, where you now have to take your time to lead, motivate, etc., etc. And then you come to the fifth stage, which is revision. Revision. Now you have to evaluate. You have to evaluate your style. You have to evaluate you have to look at the journey. Are you where you projected to be? If you are, what is making you travel on time? Can you strengthen that thing and even go faster? If you are not, what is the problem? If you are ahead, what are the things you are doing right? You need to be able to revise the strategy and everything. And then the plus one is called re-envisioning. This is where now the leader now has to sit down and see, can we broaden the vision? And at this stage, when you are re-envisioning, you have two results. Either a positive spiral, which means that you are growing, you are going up. You started envisioning small and you are going up and you are going, and at the level where you are and you are re-envisioning, you are now seeing a bigger vision, and you want to expand the vision and grow the vision and build it more. Now, all the results you get will be a negative spiral. So what that means is that there have been problems. And so at the level of so you started very big, but at the level of re-envisioning, you realize that you are now revising your notes and you are now reducing the vision, and you want to now restart all over again. I said at that stage, you are either going to do okay, so most people who experience negative spiral would do what we call makeup. They will rebrand, they will change colors, but they may end up doing the same thing again. But those who experience the positive spiral, do at a level of re-envisioning, they do something I call makeover. Makeover is re-engineering the whole thing. It could mean bringing in more people, changing names, and improving on including the products that you are offering, etc., etc. So basically, these are the things leaders do. Leaders build vision, and then they grow the vision through 5 stages plus 1.
Okay, I know today's topic is not focused on vision, but let me just ask out of curiosity, does every leader get to reach the re-envisioning part or phase?
No, in fact, some leaders get stuck at mobilization because the skills to mobilize resources is a very, very, it's a skill that most people lack. It involves negotiations, it involves relationships. I was fortunate. I've built very good relational skills. In fact, there's something I call soft success. I built Accra Business School not as an academician, but as an entrepreneur. I did not build it with technical skills. I built it with soft skills. So I have something I call soft success. The 12 soft skills I used to build Accra Business School. And one of them is relational skills. You see, I had friends around me that I could bring together. So I benefited from their reputation. Some friends, by virtue of associating with me, gave me a reputational capital. Some friends, by virtue of associating with me, gave me access to their networks. So they'll recommend people, talk about people, and all those things. And I can meet people, have had access to their networks. Some friends had access to their technical skills, and some friends actually had access to doors. They opened doors for me. So you need people that will give you the shoulder to stand on, and help you take giant steps, to get you going. So I think one of the most important resources that I had access to at the beginning of building Accra Business School was human resource, friendship. I depended on my social skills to be able to mobilize resources.
Interesting. Still on the mobilizing resources bit, not every leader will necessarily possess that skill. So is it a must-have such that if you don't, you must emphatically build capacity, or you can outsource that? And is it even safe to do so?
Yes, so leaders don't have it all. If you move Messi from the position he plays to another position, he will be in trouble. Messi is skillful because he plays in a position that is comfortable for him. So is Ronaldo. So as a leader, you need to be able to identify where your strength is. Play in that position. But then you need to be able to see, how do I get others to play with me so that in playing with me, I'll be able to have access to other things. You need to be able to, able to do that. One of the easiest way to mobilize resources is from friends and families, like I've said it to you. There will be an office you are looking for that a friend, like a friend of mine is based in the US and is coming down to the country to start a training organization. He has access to my offices, access to my staff. So he doesn't need to pay for office, doesn't need to pay for staff, doesn't need to pay for a number of skills and all those things. My staff are basically doing everything for him, because this friend, when I was a young man in Bible school, I also lived in his house when I needed accommodation. And he used to help me get transportation to school. I do not think that building friendship requires technical skills. They are soft skills. They are other things, but it also needs wisdom. If you know where you are going to, start making sure you are assembling the person that you would need, some of the people that you would need to help you.
Fantastic. Let's now zero in on today's topic. What would you say your definition of a mission is?
So when leaders build vision, when they develop visions, they need to define their missions, because vision is where you are going. But mission is why you are going to where you are going.
Why you are going to where you're going.
Yeah, why you are going to where you are going. It's a very crucial thing to the why question. The why question, it's what motivates you. Is very, very crucial. And mission is what sets you apart from the others. So, for instance, let me take 3 universities in this country, private universities, Ashasi, Central, and Accra Business School. We all do basically the same thing. We are all we manufacture knowledge and sell the knowledge to enable people to develop the skills that will take them out of poverty. That's what every school should do. Manufacture knowledge, sell the knowledge, but make sure the knowledge that you are selling will give skills to people that will help the people to get out of poverty. I believe that should be the reason why every school must exist. But then you have to make a choice between schools. What will make you make that choice between the school might be the mission of the school. So, for instance, Central exists in addition to the fundamental reasons why they should exist. Central exists to develop transformational leaders. Asase exists to develop ethical leaders. Accra Business School exists to develop servant leaders who can create jobs, increase incomes, and reduce poverty. So for anybody, these are the things that really determine the content of our courses. So you came to Accra Business School to do a finance program. I'm sure other universities are offering them. But then you looked at the content of what we are offering and you chose us. The reason why you chose us is because our mission has defined the way we develop the content of our courses. So the first thing mission does, answering the why question, why you exist, why do I exist? At the personal level, for instance, I believe that I exist to help solve the African leadership crisis by discovering, developing, and deploying leaders from the church to the world. Because I believe that the world needs godly leaders. And also to win leaders from the world to the church. Because I believe that the leaders outside the church must come into the church to be built as godly leaders, to be sent out there. And it's the reason why I have Accra Business School. So my mission is driving what I'm building. My personal mission is what is driving what I'm building. Whatever I want to get myself involved in, it must be driven by my personal mission. So when you come to the Pleasant Place Church that I'm privileged to preside over, you see a lot of young people in the church. Because these young people are people who believe that Bishop Titi-Ofei can shape their leadership character and sharpen their leadership skills, and they can leave the church to go and transform their societies and make impact on their community. So I'm driven by the why. The greatest discovery any leader can discover is the discovery of why God created you. It's called the providence question. Why did God create me? That discovery will help you. Or else you do everything in general, but nothing in particular. Okay? And so this mission defines your uniqueness, and it defines the uniqueness of every organization. It defines the uniqueness of every organization. People that have discovered their mission, their uniqueness, their mission, and have defined their mission, they don't look for jobs. They look for assignments. You see, Michael, there are 7 battles, maybe we'll discuss that later, that everybody must win if you want to succeed. The first battle is the battle between attraction and assignment. Attraction is what you are copying to do. Assignment is what you were created to do. Successful leaders do what they were created to do. They don't copy what others are doing. I've had people who came to work with me, copied my concept, copied my everything, copied all the things that they have to copy to try to do. It didn't last more than a year, because you don't succeed pursuing attraction. You succeed pursuing assignment, fulfilling assignment. And organizations that are set up for assignments succeed. So your uniqueness is very crucial. That's the first U of mission. The second U of mission, Michael, is understanding. You see, for that leader to be able to communicate that mission, Accra Business School, we exist to create servant leaders, global servant leaders, who can create jobs, increase incomes, and reduce poverty. Because we believe that there's a direct correlation between democratic stability and economic growth. And we believe that for the democracies of Africa to be strengthened, we need to create people who can create jobs. Anybody coming to Accra Business School must have this understanding. All my staff working for me must have this understanding. I must be able to educate them, communicate it to them for their understanding. And that is where organizations become strong. Because the word understand is that there is 2 words put together: under and stand. Under and stand. So the understand of every organization is the knowledge the people have about your organization, and how they have imbibed that knowledge about that organization. So the Bible says that by wisdom a house is built. By understanding, its foundations are established. And by knowledge, its houses are filled with treasures. So you see, your understanding, your foundation is based on what you understand, your understand. And let me show you how people understand things. You see, if I ask you, so what is the color of my shirt?
I'll say white.
White. Why is it white?
That's a good question.
It's because you went to kindergarten and you were told color white, color white, color white. So it is stored in your mind. Immediately your eye sees this color, your mind gives it an interpretation. Understanding is the interpretation that your mind gives to the things your eye sees, your ear hears, your body feels as a result of the information already stored in your mind. So every leader must embark on storing an information in the mind of followers, in the mind of the members of the team, about the mission of the organization. Let them get that understanding. And I'm telling you, you will build a strong organization. Any strong organization is built on the understanding of the mission of the members of the organization.
If you just tuned in, you're listening to Leadtionary, and our guest for today is Bishop Titi-Ofei, taking us through the second leg of leadership, which is mission. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, he'll bring us more insight on the topic. Please stay with us.
Leadtionary 2023, live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei. Every Thursday at 1900 GMT.
We thank God once again. I+ is here. I+ program is designed purposely for young men and women in ministry. So fantastic enough. Over the years, many youth have been blessed by this program put up by Bishop Titi-Ofei. I want you to know one thing different about I+. It gives you an opportunity to meet men and women of God who have been in the ministry for so many years. You have benefit to their ministry, to how they got the anointing and how they planted churches and how God used them to raise the dead and doing all this great stuff for God. Beloved, the date is 5th to 10th June 2023, and it's taking place at Pleasant Place Church, 500 meters from Kotobabi Taxi Rank, Spencer's Grove. And I want to encourage every young man who has a desire to have a great ministry. And these men of God who are coming your way through this 5 days from 5th June to 10th are men loaded with anointing, loaded with full of power and full of revelation knowledge. And I don't want you to miss it. Come and the Lord will bless you. I+, this is the place. God is raising the new generation of ministers for our nation. God richly bless you.
International Pastors and Leaders Under 40 Summit. I+40 from 5th to 10th June 2023 at 7 a.m. each day at Christ Square, Pleasant Place Church, 29 Otuajen Avenue, Spinters Road, Accra. Free accommodation available to those coming from outside Accra. Ordination opportunity available. Call 0264 133 333. Theme: Fire Outbreak. Leadtionary 2023, live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei. Every Thursday at 1900 GMT.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Leadtionary, your top leadership-focused conversation, hosted originally by Bishop Titi-Ofei, but today I'm sitting in because he's our guest. And he's been talking to us about vision and what it means in the scope of leadership. He's made us understand that the characteristics of mission include uniqueness and understanding. What is the next leg?
So the third character of mission is undertaking. Undertaking. Your understanding determines your undertaking. You can never outperform your mind. So first, the leader establishes the mission, which now defines the uniqueness of the organization. And everybody coming to work in the organization is coming there because it it's an assignment for them. Okay, it's an assignment for them. I would love people who originally wanted to be teachers to work with me at Accra Business School, because that's an assignment for them. They've always wanted to work with schools. You see, so that's an assignment for them. From there, you go to understanding. The leader must explain the mission very, very well for them to get the understanding. Once you have understanding, it improves your performance. It improves your performance. In fact, mission is the power behind the performance of many organizations. For instance, the things I do, my performance in life is driven by my big mission. So I built Accra Business School. I'm building the Theological Education and Mission Center. I'm launching it in the next few weeks. I am building the Temple Christian International School, which is built. And as I speak to you now, there are lands being cleared to start a new school called the Accra Doctoral College. We have plans in mind to start multiple schools and do other things. All these things, they are traceable to the understanding of my mission. So your undertakings is traceable to the understanding of why you were created. Your mission, your assignment in life. You can never outperform your mind. And what empowers your mind is a clear understanding of your mission. Be the servant of every knowledge, but the master of the knowledge that will help you fulfill your purpose and assignment on earth. So read wide, but make sure you are focusing, because it will help you improve. Anybody who has undertaken any major assignment in life that you see today that you admire, that person undertook that assignment, that project, that organization, whatever it is, because the person understood that I was created to do this. You see, there's something special about you doing something from the point of view of a calling. If you look at the work you do as a journalist, a business journalist, as you having been created by God to pro-choices and business choices, your approach will be different. When you wake up in the morning, go into that office, you know you are going to do something God created for you to do. But if it is for the salary you get at the end of the month, your motivation will be different. I started Accra Business School in 2004 with a borrowed 500 Ghana cedis. And it was a mission for me. Today, look at what we have become. So your undertakings is traceable to the understanding of why God created you, your mission. Your mission.
So from, if I understand what you're saying, it means that your mindset, with respect to what you understand you're called to do, will influence the kind of projects you even involve yourself in.
That's right. That's right. You see, the greatest tool for success is your mind. But you see, your mind is created to be able to accommodate all manner of information. But is every information necessary for you? When you discover your assignment, when you go to school and you are given assignment on project management, the fact that you are in love with a woman does not mean that when you go to this library, you should go and read a book on love. What took you to the library was an assignment on project management. So you must focus on research, on project management. That is the thing. But you see, you need to read a bit of love, because in addition to your assignment on project management, you are in love with a girl. In addition to your assignment on project management, you need to read the Bible, because one day you stand before the judgment seat of God. In addition to your assignment on project management, you may have to read a book on human relations, because you have to deal with people. You may have to do other things. But your core, the books that must fill your mind, It's that which your assignment is on. Let me see this. You see, in the corridors of power, knowledge is king. It is the reason why Nebuchadnezzar said, look for young men who are quick to understand. You see, young men who are quick to understand, and young men who are quick to understand, who speak different languages. No, he has a set of things, and all of them had to do with the knowledge. You see, looked at the broadness of their thinking, etc., etc. So because Nebuchadnezzar knew very well that the more understanding you have, the bigger your undertaking is in life.
Interesting. Now, Bishop, this point, Jen, raises the question of how then do you learn to prioritize what to focus and at what rate in your undertakings?
Yes, so the most important, see, you need to have direction. And direction is the discovery and pursuit of purpose. Once there is that discovery of your purpose and you are pursuing it, you have direction. So many things will try to distract you, of course. Don't be too scared about those things that are coming your way. Have fun a little. As you travel, you just try to have fun. That's why when you are making a long journey in advanced countries, there are food joints and all those things. And it's enjoyable traveling and having fun, but don't forget where you are going. Don't forget where you are going. Make sure you keep that in mind where you are going. Watch football more. Watch some movies. No, play a little on social media, but don't forget why you were created. It's important. And leaders don't. Leaders really don't. Leaders are the most focused people I have ever come across. You know something? I am very privileged to be globally networked from political circles around the world, the corridors of power. In November, I'll be hosting in my house here the first former minister of Northern Ireland, Alan Foster, very highly respected, is coming to visit me to spend a week coming together with a husband. So I'm very, very much networked with a number of top leaders. Whenever we have meetings on Zoom and other places, we can have meetings that can change a lot of things, and yet it doesn't even last more than 45 minutes. And I've been to meetings that will change nothing, that will last the whole day. Because it's made up of people who have no focus, who have no direction, and they come sit down and talk about everything. And if you're a secretary to that meeting, you don't know how to record on the minutes. Highly successful leaders are very focused because they are always undertaking something as a result of their understanding. Understand the reason why you were created. Establish your mission. Answer the why question. And you will undertake a lot of things.
Interesting. Point number 4.
Number 4 is underwriting. Underwriting. People will sign on to things they really believe in. Nobody will put his signature on something that they have doubts. If you want commitment to people, define your mission very well. Sit them down. Discuss it with them. And that is what leaders do. In every meeting, I usually have 2 meetings with my staff every week. The purpose of those meetings is usually, one is ideas meeting, to listen to them. The other is for me to be able to reinforce the mission. Get them to believe in the vision. Get them to believe that you can sign on to this. You can believe in this. You can bet your life on this. We are going somewhere. Don't panic. The brakes are good. The ties are good. The car is strong. I am the driver. I'm a good driver. I will get you to where we are going to. Don't have doubts. Because when people have doubts, it affects their performance. So a double-minded person does not receive anything good from the Lord. Even God does not trust people who are double-minded. People must have faith in your leadership. But having faith in your leadership has nothing to do with you as a person. It has everything to do with what you are communicating, what you are bringing on board. You may be the nicest. I know nice men who are failed leaders. And I know ugly men who are successful leaders. It has nothing to do with how nice you are and how good you are and all those things. It has to do with, can we believe the project? Can we believe where we are going? Do we have faith in this? Can I bet my life on this? Can I grow my career here? And mission tells them that.
I see. So how often would you say leaders have to go through this phase of reassuring and going over the notes with their followers to consistently get their buy-in?
That is why when you enter into most organizations, the first thing you see at the reception is the mission statement. Because they must tell you every day. They must tell you every day. I tell people that the last thing people remember about you is your last performance. If Ronaldo flops today, that is what we will discuss to his next match. If Messi flops today, we will discuss to his next match. So your last performance is what people will remember. That's why leaders must consistently perform. So consistently remind your people where you are going. Just keep that at the back of their minds. You see, it's just like farming. It's just like farming. If you want to have mangoes, plant mangoes. You get it? That's how leadership is. The kind of stuff you want. Keep sowing the same seeds. Keep sowing the seeds. Keep sowing the seeds. We are educational institution. We are creating job creators. I must keep letting them understand this is where we are going. Understand the reason why our courses are like this. Understand the reasons why this lecturer cannot be in our lecture hall, but this lecturer can be. Understand, because I will have to make decisions that will clash with the decisions of other people, the choices of other people. But they must understand that the reason why I am not letting this person be on our team is because he does not fit our strategy. And I don't have to do it because I have power. I have to do it because the people understand the mission.
And the mission influences every other decision.
The mission influences everything we do. Listen, in my whole life, if I walk even into a shop to buy clothes, I'm thinking about my mission. Can I use this clothes to do what I was created to do? When money is leaving my pocket, is this going to fulfill my purpose? If I'm buying fuel into my car, is it going to fulfill my purpose? When I'm even supporting someone, when I'm doing a social initiative, it must reflect my mission. So somebody walks in here and he says, "Daddy, can you help me with money? I don't have a job and I don't eat." And people come a lot. My first reaction is not how much I want to give you. My first reaction is, how do I get you out of this? How do I get you out of this? Because I develop leaders. I build potentials of people. I don't feed the poor. I get the poor out of poverty.
Wow. That's deep.
Because it is very easy to feed the poor. I want to get the poor out of poverty. It's part of my mission. And so I will have a long conversation with you. And after that long conversation with you, I will give you a plan to get out of poverty. And you need to be patient because it is not about what you eat today. It's about what you can eat forever.
So we've done uniqueness, we've done understanding, we've done undertaking, we've done underwriting, all as characteristics of mission. Mission as in why you are doing what you're doing. From here, what's next?
Unity of purpose. Unity of purpose. I watched on a social media video I saw, very funny video. School children were doing relay race, what we call baton when we're growing up. So you run and hand over the baton to the next runner runs. So this particular group were doing very well. So the first person running was leading, handed the second person also leading, handed it to the third person. The third person took the baton and started running the opposite direction.
Clearly doesn't belong on the team.
No vision, no direction, no unity of purpose. You see, no unity of purpose. See, one of the things that leaders really try to do is how to make sure that we are all looking at the same place and the same thing, and we are seeing the same thing. Or else you will end up spending most of your time managing conflicts. And I heard something by Jose Mourinho. He said, when you put stars together, you don't teach them how to play football. You teach them how to play in a team, because they already know how to play football. And the reason why most coaches fail when they are coaching stars is because they try to teach stars how to play football. But you don't. You just teach them how to play in a team. And it is the responsibility of every leader. Make sure your team, the individuals can play in a team, as a team. And that is where unity comes in. Unity of purpose. That is what it comes in. So let me take you back to Chelsea again. I'm saying that the first time Chelsea won the championships, we had no strong team. But that group had people whose footballing career were coming to an end. And they felt that if we don't win this Champions League, we will not end up in history as one of the greats. So we had to win it. We must do everything to make sure that this is won. You had Didier Drogba, who kicked the last system for Chelsea to win. We had we had John Terry. We had all these guys who were nearing the end of their careers.
Okay.
And felt that if we don't win this, we are finished. That unity. You saw how they were throwing themselves on the ground to block the body. You know, it was like their lives depended on them. Until you bring people to that point where they begin to feel that you need me to help you to achieve this. And you also, I need to help me to achieve this, because all the things that people celebrate are trophies. Who are you without a trophy? Without a trophy, nobody will celebrate you. And when people begin to get that clear understanding that we are all working together for a common goal, we are working together to attain a common goal. That is where I can spend days without visiting my office, and yet everything is moving. Clear understanding of everybody's role, clear understanding of where we are all going, clear understanding of how we can get to where we are going. And that brings that unity of purpose. It's crucial. And the mission does it.
Fantastic.
Clearly stated mission will make it happen.
If you just tuned in, we're still here on Leadtionary with our guest for today, Bishop Titi-Ofei. We are focusing today on mission, and he's been walking us through the various characteristics of mission. We'll take another quick break. When we return, we'll bring you more. Please stay with us.
Leadtionary 2023, live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei. Every Thursday at 1900 GMT. Experience a revival. Experience an awakening at the International Pastors and Leaders Under 40 Summit. I+40, featuring Archbishop Duncan Williams, Bishop Taki Yaboy, Reverend Steve Mensah, Reverend Ampia Kofi, Bishop Michael Hotungu, Bishop Adai Mensah, Bishop Victor Osei, Pastor Dele Olawane, and hosted by Bishop Gideon and Lady Olivia Titi-Ofei from 5th to 10th June 2023 at 7 a.m. each day at Christ Square, Pleasant Place Church, 29 Otuajen Avenue, Spintex Road, Accra. Free accommodation available to those coming from outside Accra. Ordination opportunity available. Call 0264 133 333. I+40 from 5th to 10th June 2023 at 7 a.m. each day. Theme: Fire Outbreak. Leadtionary 2023. Live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei. Every Thursday at 1900 GMT.
Welcome back to Leadtionary, and we are continuing our conversation with our guest, Bishop Titi-Ofei, on mission. Bishop, you've mentioned 5 characteristics of mission. What are the rest?
The 6th one is what I call unstoppableness.
Okay.
There's a gentleman in my office who is dating a girl in Kumasi. And so he goes to Kumasi regularly. And because he understands why he's going to Kumasi, nothing stops him. One time he was going to Kumasi, armed robbers attacked their bus. And I thought this was the end. He won't go to Kumasi again. But nothing will stop him. Nothing will stop him.
He went the next time?
He went another time.
Wow.
And he keeps going. He knows what he's going to look for. He knows why he's going. And he keeps going. He's a fantastic young man in my office. He can actually, after work today, leave in the night, get to Kumasi. I don't know how he does it. And comes back to Accra to work, just to see the face of the woman he loves.
Wow.
Has a clear understanding of his mission. You see, that thing stops a man who knows why he is going to where he is going. So here's the thing. When I started Accra, I started with the African Center for Leadership and Human Resource Development. There was one program I did, I borrowed money to do it and nobody attended. Not even the money to pay for the venue and all those things. It was a very difficult moment for me. And most people felt that was the end of it all. But I was unstoppable. I knew where I was going. You see, consistency, the strength to keep going, the strength to keep moving, the strength to make sure you are going is all answered by the one question: why am I doing this? My wife and I have been married for 30 years. We knew the why when we met. She's always said she wanted to marry a pastor. I've always also said I wanted to marry a woman who is just too much in love with Jesus. And we have said that we just want to impart people. When I met her, her whole life was about praying for pastors and supporting pastors. And my whole life at the time was to teach pastors, groom pastors, and grow pastors. And for 30 years that we've been married, it's been amazing. You know why? There's this kind of unstoppableness about the two of us. We are doing the same thing. We know why we are doing these things. That is, you will always be met with mountains and valleys and all those things. What will keep you going is your conviction. You're strong. Leaders have strong convictions. Have strong convictions. If the plane decides to crash, they'll parachute themselves down and continue their journey. They will. I've never seen a successful leader who easily gave up. Leaders are strong and firm about their mission. And they keep pushing, and they keep going, and they keep pushing, and they keep going, and they keep pushing, and they keep going until they get to where they are supposed to go. When we came to Spinters Road to start the Pleasant Place Church, there were times that we'll come to church and there are only 2 people in the chapel. We fought, we fasted, we worked hard. One time, I had about 40 young people, and most of them were construction workers in this area. And then I had a man who came in to help, and he was an evangelist from Holland. One Sunday, I went to church, and the 40 boys were nowhere to be found. Only about 15 guys were in the chapel. What is going on here? Where are the guys? And then here was a bus passing. We were by the roadside, and these guys were waving at us. The man had just started the church and has gotten those boys to go with them. But I knew why I was here, and that will not stop me. There are many people watching us right now who want to stop. When you stop, you are disappointing a whole generation. You were created for a purpose. You were a purpose-built individual, created for a purpose. Let that discovery of that mission drive you on. Keep fighting until you win. Keep fighting until you win.
So the obstacles you experience are actually opportunities to prove how convinced you are about the mission.
That's right. That's right. It tests your conviction. It will test your conviction. I came here, I said, God has spoken with me, left Europe and came here to start a church here. I lived in an uncompleted building, no water, no electricity, no toilet facilities for 5 years. For 5 years. I had visas running in my passport. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll take the passport and look at them, should I go back or not? I had a conviction. I knew why I was here. I knew why I was here. Today, most people would think that, oh, this guy came and just started. I lived in an uncompleted building and fought hard to get here. Every leader has a fighting spirit, and they are unstoppable. You can't stop them. You know, leadership is like a pregnancy. When the baby is ready to come, you can't stop the baby.
Interesting. And it's quite fascinating how when you finally achieve significant success, it covers up all the backstory and all the trials you had to deal with.
So I don't tell only my success stories. I also tell my failure stories because it balances it. We are no extraordinary people. The success is a combination of common sense principles and the grace of God. Everything I'm sharing here with you are just common sense principles and the grace of God.
Okay, so now we'll go to point number 7.
Point number 7 is what I call the unidentifiable.
Okay. Unidentifiable.
The unidentifiable. There must be something about you that will beat your competitors. There must be something that nobody can pinpoint to. What is making this guy so successful? What is making this? There must be something. So, for instance, a study was done. Toyota had become very successful. And so companies were studying how they had become so successful. American car manufacturers had gone there. They've learned their systems. They've learned everything. Everything. They came back to implement all the strategies they learned. And they were still not competing with Toyota on the car market. Then they wanted to find out why. There was something they could not copy with that period. The Japanese culture of work, which is inculcated when you are young, and it is in you. It is in you, and it takes you to the job. Somebody cannot come from America and work in your company when the person is already 20-something years old and pick that thing and try to perfect it. It does not work. In your strategy, there will always be. So sometimes people tell me, oh, you are very open, you don't have a secret. I always feel there's something about me that nobody can copy. I think that it's a very unique grace. It's a unique anointing. It's a unique favor from God. I think that it is my covenant with God. It is my covenant with God. My father was a priest in the Methodist Church. I believe he did not finish his assignment. I have to continue his assignment. He was the manager of Methodist schools. He was a teacher before, and now I'm here doing that thing. It is something, it's a baton that has been passed on to me. If you don't have that baton, you cannot do what I'm doing. There is a covenant. There is a covenant between me and God. Copy all my strategies. You can never copy that covenant. And that is what you must also discover as an individual. What is the secret between me and my Creator? This secret there's something that is so unique about me that nobody can pick from me. As you go on and you become popular and you start writing for top magazines and you're seeing your face in other places, there will be other young business journalists who would like to speak like Michael, who would like to dress like Michael, but that is not enough to become Michael. There is something has brought you this far. You are not the only person. Your group is not the only. You have people that were even more brilliant than you in school. By your exposure, and you know why. That is something that nobody can copy.
Just taking a second to digest all of it. Now, we've seen the various characteristics of a mission. Now, how then do you now finally come to that place where you can say, this is my why, this is my vision?
Michael, this question is for you. You asked it for yourself. Okay, so let me explain this. So one time I traveled, and whilst I was traveling, there was a project ongoing, and I've been away for a while. So I love spending time on my project sites. It gives me a lot of inspiration. So I came down, and then straight away, the next morning, I was on the project site. I was there very early. They didn't know most of the people working there. But as I stood there watching the workers arriving and going to the tools room to pick their tools, I was just there, and then somebody came out with a trowel and a leveler. I just knew that this is a mason. Somebody came out with a headpan. I just knew that this is a laborer. Somebody came out with a hammer and a saw. This is a carpenter. Somebody came out with electrical wiring. This is an electrician. Your tools defines your assignment. Your tools. Yes, your assignment. And life is an assignment. So God gave us tools. These tools we call talent. I have 3 talents, and that has defined why I'm doing these things. I speak, I write, I talk. That is what teachers do. That's why I'm a teacher. That's why I run a school. You want to discover your mission? You want to discover your assignment? Look deep down inside you. Look deep down inside you. Deuteronomy 8:18. Remember that the Lord thy God who created you gave you the abilities to produce wealth. Gave you the abilities to produce wealth. So everybody has an ability that God has placed in the inside of you. Let me tell you this. You're not a journalist because you wanted to be a journalist. You're a journalist because you were created to be. You were designed to be. Your line of questionings, your intelligence when you are doing these things, you were created to be. Ronaldo is not a footballer because he wanted to be. He's a footballer because he was created to. to be. So there are raw talents in us that education, experiences, and other things will help us develop them into a skill. And if you have that skill, you cannot do anything beyond the skill that you have. So you want to discover your vision? Go stand in front of that mirror. Be honest about yourself. Look at yourself in that mirror. And you know what you do with flair. You know what you do with ease. I will never stop talking. I will never stop writing. I will never stop thinking. Thinking is using your mind to solve problems. Worrying is using your mind to magnify problems. Those who think, they think for those who worry and charges them for worrying. So you know what happened? When you came to Accra Business School, you came to buy my thinking. You came to buy my thinking. Poverty is when people buy, when you use money to buy people's thinking, and nobody uses money to buy your thinking because you are not thinking. You have no ideas to sell.
That sounds terrible.
That is why Ghana, we are poor. Michael, me and you, these shoes we are wearing, these clothes we are wearing, they are not Ghanaian made. This shoe is not Ghanaian made. My trousers is not Ghanaian made. My rings are not Ghanaian made. My watch is not Ghanaian made. These things I'm wearing, they are not Ghanaian made. Hit the streets here. The car you came in is not Ghanaian made. All the things you see around, they are not Ghanaian. This furniture here, they are not Ghanaian made. We are poor because we spend money buying people's ideas, and nobody spends money buying our ideas. I travel out and people take me to Ghanaian shops and they say, hey, tell Ghana, you're rich. Come and see Ghana. We are rich far. Come and see. And then I enter into a Ghanaian shop and it's only Ghanaians who are buying there. So the Ghanaians who are buying there. Go to a Chinese restaurant anywhere in the world and there are more non-Chinese eating there. I met the chairman of ICM. A beautiful city. Took me to a Chinese restaurant. Whilst we're eating, they said, look around. There's no Chinese eating here. They are going to kill all of us soon.
I'm so amused with all the information you're sharing today, and I'm particularly excited about this opportunity, and I'm hoping, and I know that there are a lot of leaders out there who are learning a lot from, because this is not information you necessarily find in a classroom, and this is you telling us from raw experience over the period as a leader. But then I want to find out, you've spoken extensively about how to get people to buy into your vision. Now, my final question would be, how do you manage people who are part of your team who still don't buy into that vision? How do you handle them for the period that they are with you?
Sell it more. There are two things. Like I said, always engage people who look at what you are doing as the assignment, not a job. I still know people in my office who feel that they are not made for an academic environment. They don't want to be secretaries at a university. They want to be secretaries in a bank. I don't begrudge them, but I always tell them, I'm always frank. I said, I know that this is not what you intended to do, but whilst you are here, enjoy it whilst it lasts. Enjoy it whilst it lasts. Don't undermine anything. If I see you undermining something, I'll get you out. Build your CV whilst you are here. It is not the end of your life. This is not a settling stone. This is a stepping stone. And I do normally have, you see, every leader should be able to predict behaviors and identify negative behaviors and try to have one-on-one conversations. And in having those one-on-one conversations, give the person a way out. But in giving the person a way out, show how that person can get out even better. So one of the young ladies in the office came to me and said, she did something electronics and came to me and said, no, I did electronics and I I don't know where my career is going. I really don't know where my career is going now, because now I'm here and I'm not using what I learned to do. I say, yeah, you are here. So what will you do? Enjoy what it lasts and plan. Plan your exit. Plan it well. You are not under a bond to be here forever. But enjoy this while it lasts and build a CV. Imagine the time you left university, you haven't worked anywhere. Nobody would have engaged you. So enjoy this while it lasts. You know, it's always about conversation. So the last 2-3 months, I've had 2 guys from my office who have come to me and said, well, I'm enjoying the work here, but I'm not growing in my area of profession. I studied this, but I'm only using about 10% of what I studied here. If I work in a banking environment or a telecommunication environment or this, then I can use all. So I want to move on. I said, no problems. I agree with you totally. Give you some time, let me find a replacement. In the meantime, let me engage you on part-time basis. So if what you are going to do now will not engage you so much, let me pay you half the salary and work out of the office.
I think we'll have to do a session on human resource management, because it looks like you have a lot of cards under your sleeve that
I would. I won't waste my energy fighting you over you not liking the job and you being this and you being. I will have a conversation with you, show you the way out, and tell you. But sometimes you see, there are people who have success behaviors that you don't want to lose. They just have success behaviors that you don't want to. Some time ago, I used to love smart minds more than good hearts. But I just realized that good hearts are better than smart minds. If you have both, you have the greatest person. If you have smart minds and good hearts, you have. But if you ask me to choose between a smart mind and a good heart, I will choose a good heart and try to build a smart mind out of it. But if you give me a smart mind without a good heart, it's so difficult to change the heart. So difficult to change. It is easier to change the mind than the heart.
And on that note, that will be all for today's edition of Leadtionary. It's been a fantastic session, as always, with Bishop Titi-Ofei. I have learned so much. I honestly can't wait to really listen to everything that was shared on today's session. And I would advise you to not just listen to it once. Go over it a couple of times. And the information that is being shared here, I'm sure will resonate better with you, and you would grasp fully what this whole idea Bishop Titi-Ofei is trying to promote with regards to leadership, especially as we've discussed mission and vision. Bishop, thank you so much for being on your show, and I look forward to many more sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you for accepting to sit on my seat and let me sit on your seat.
It's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much.
Viewers,
thank you so much. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you some other time. As always, please stay safe, and bye-bye from here.
Leadtionary 2023, live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei, every Thursday at 1900 GMT.